Hello, hello, hello. So, as stated in the previous episode, I am starting a new little series on this podcast. Just because, come on. You know, you miss me. Once a week will never be enough. And also, I just really love giving advice. Like, people come up to me and ask me for advice all the time. I don't know what about my appearance or general demeanor, gives off that vibe. But yeah, and I actually quite like helping people sort of figure their way out of a conundrum. And yeah, it's also just like, also in some odd way, sort of enjoyable to listen to other people's problems. One, because it puts your own life into perspective. But also you kind of feel less alone in the world, because you realize that there are other people who are going through similar problems and that we're all just trying our best. So for now I will be going through Reddit posts, either r/advice or r/am I the asshole, or any other platforms where stories come across and people may need some advice. But yeah, in general, these are going to be very short episodes, just a little, midweek snack, something to nibble on, something to think about. Also, because I listen to a lot of podcasts that cover, am I the asshole stories and stuff. And even if there's like a panel of four people, I oftentimes find that there's like one element of the story that isn't being addressed or given enough consideration. And I find myself like screaming at, you know, my phone or the radio or wherever I'm listening. I'm like, what about this? What about this? So I'm sure all of you will also have your own opinions, and I think this is a great space for us to engage. I would love engagement on the Monday motivation posts. But I think that especially because it's a Monday, we're all just trying to get our week going, and it's a long episode as well, so you have it playing in the background. Whereas this one, I think I'd like to keep them nice and short so that we can, engage, and it doesn't take too much time. A little lunch break situation, a little escapism, it does the body good sometimes. Instead of maybe taking a smoke break, you take a tea break, and the pun is very much intended. So, yeah, let's see how long this week's episode is, and I'll try to keep them to under 20 minutes, but it'll depend on the stories. And with time, if you have any conundrums, if you have any dilemmas, please feel free to send them in. I love a listener letter situation, and that's what I'd like this podcast to eventually become. I do know that we don't have enough of a following for that to be the case, but I'm manifesting that. I'm manifesting it. So if you do have any conundrums of your own that you would like to hear me weigh in on, and the general community to weigh in on, then send me an email, monotonouscacophony@gmail.com, baby. I got you. Okay, so this week's episode, we are doing a Am I the Asshole? And Home Slice is saying, am I the asshole for calling my pregnant sister a heinous bitch? Wow. I haven't read this. I chose these things at random. And I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. My first response is maybe. Maybe not. Also, just right now, I'm going to say I don't understand this thing of like pregnant people getting special protections or whatever. Do you get what I mean? Like that somehow, because the person is pregnant, they're allowed to get away with really egregious behavior. You know what I mean? Like being selfish and inconsiderate and so on and so forth, that they can make the most ridiculous demands, and everyone around them is expected to just acquiesce because what? You're pregnant? Like, no, fam, no. I definitely understand in terms of like physically, that a pregnant person would need more help. And I can also understand how being pregnant makes you a little more emotional and stuff like that, and can affect your hormones and the way you think, and like can affect you in a really big way. And I understand. And I definitely think that, when you are pregnant, that you should be afforded a certain level of grace. But I don't think that it gives you carte blanche to just walk all over people. And that the people around you shouldn't stand up for themselves, or hold you accountable to your actions and say, no, that is not okay. I don't care if you're crying about it. I don't care if you say you want it. I don't care if you're pregnant. This has nothing to do with your pregnancy. You're just being unreasonable. Do you get what I mean? I feel like that is entirely possible, for people to say. Like, you can speak up for yourself. And I think that in a lot of these stories that I read about, pregnant people being problematic, and the one person who decides to stand up, for themselves, then the rest of the family is just like, no, but she's pregnant. You just give her what she wants, but she's pregnant. Like, come on now. That's unfair. Anyway, I've rambled on for too long. Let's get into the story. So, Home Slice says, my 37 female sister, Lisa, 25 female, announced her pregnancy in June and has been an unholy terror the whole time. A lot of it can be put down to hormones, and she does apologize when she calms down. But the one that's really rubbing me the wrong way is she expects everyone in the family to abstain from things that she can't eat or drink. Imagine, listen to this. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's hard on our parents because Lisa lives 2 houses down from them, so they can't escape this rule, and it's really wearing on my dad because his hobby and his passion is wine. My husband, Alan, 39 male, and I went over to see Mum and Dad last weekend, and while there, Alan was talking to Dad about the little tourist town we went to for our wedding anniversary a few weekends ago, and let it slip that we went to a dinner at the main attraction for that town, which is a winery. Lisa overheard and lost her mind that we dared drink while she's pregnant. My wonderful, supportive, vibrant parents just deflated. Oh my gosh. Okay, just deflated and looked like they were bracing for impact, which pushed me over the edge. I told Lisa that Alan and I going to a winery 150 kilometers away for our anniversary has zero impact on her or her baby's health, and she needed to stop being a tyrant. She got angrier and said I was undermining her pregnancy. I don't even know what that means. And she's hormonal, so we should expect this from her. I reminded her that I have 2 kids, so I know firsthand how hormones can make you irrational. But it doesn't give her a free pass to be a heinous bitch. She threw a few more choice insults at me and stormed off. Mum said I shouldn't have done that because it'll make her a nightmare for them for the foreseeable future. I apologized to them and Alan offered them our guest room, but I don't think I was wrong for calling Lisa out on her behavior. Am I the asshole? Oh girl, what did I say? What did I say? Oliver, I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry, but no, you're not the asshole. And comment down below. Write in the comments. Do you think Homegirl was an asshole? I don't think, what is the writer, OP? I don't think OP was an asshole or is an asshole in any way, shape, or form. What the hell? What the hell? You're going to tell other people that they can't eat sushi, that they can't drink wines. You're going to take my G&T away because you decided not to condomize? Zero, babes. Zero. Not my monkey, not my show. And it's absolutely unreasonable to expect other people to abstain from things just because you can't. You made your choice with your life and with your body, and we're supporting you with that choice, but it doesn't necessarily mean that now we must suffer the consequences. We didn't make that choice. Yeah, I don't know. I would definitely want to know what the relationship was like before she fell pregnant, because I don't think that these things, especially when it's this extreme, I don't think that they come from nowhere. I would definitely understand if maybe because of the hormones and maybe the nausea that she's asking, like, when she's around, can people please maybe refrain from like, cooking raw meat, or like the smells of certain products really, set her off or whatever. And if you're in somebody else's home, I definitely think also the option is you can leave. You know what I mean? Like, you can't make it a hard rule, but you can ask to be accommodated. And should the host decide not to, they're well within their rights not to. And then you can then also leave. So you can ask to be like accommodated in such ways, I'm not going to invite you over when I know you're pregnant and then just have like a sushi platter out for us to share. So in those small things, like, yeah, definitely, if I want to share a meal with you, knowing that you're pregnant, then I definitely try and accommodate you and your needs. But you can't now tell me when I'm off at my honeymoon, you know what I mean, doing the damnedest, living my best life. I'm supposed to be celebrating that I'm finally united with the love of my life, that we have set sail into forever together. And you're telling me that I can't celebrate that to the max because you're pregnant in like a completely other city, other town, whatever? Absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Although the problem does come in when it starts as, it turns into a screaming match, I definitely think that when you're dealing with someone and when you know that the person you're dealing with is unreasonable, unhinged, and just, irrational, I do think that the best thing to do is to sort of bow out, and wait for them to calm down and revisit the conversation later. She does say that the sister does tend to apologize once she's calmed down, even though she does say that this one thing she hasn't let go of. I do think that, you could use that opportunity when she has calmed down and is feeling a little more repentant to then have a conversation with the sister and say, listen, one, I just got married. I wanted to enjoy my honeymoon, and this is what your rule, which already is baseline unreasonable, but this is what you're asking me to do. Like, as much as you want to enjoy your pregnancy to the max, and as much as you would like to, really just live in every moment, capture every little thing, and just be present, fully present for your pregnancy. I too would also like to enjoy my wedding and my honeymoon to the max. I want to have done everything that I wanted to do. It's a mini holiday, and when you go on holiday, you try out the local things. You go to the local whatever, go to a little wine tasting and do all of those things. And I don't want to rob myself of these experiences because you're pregnant. Scientifically speaking, I can get a doctor to write you a little note if you're not sure about it, but what I eat and what I consume has nothing to do with your health and will not affect you in any way. I will not be, drunk and disorderly around you at all. Me and my drinking was completely contained to where I was, which was far away from you. And I think it's unfair that you're now trying to make me feel bad about it. And also, on that topic, you're also making our father feel bad about it as well. You know his hobbies. You know that he really enjoys wine, and you're now robbing him of this wonderful experience. And it's almost as if you want to be the only one that's happy, and that your happiness comes from our misery, and this is what you're putting us all through. You're saying that I can't enjoy my honeymoon. You're saying that our father cannot enjoy his hobbies. And you're saying that in general, we have to be policed by you. We have to feel scared and intimidated by you and what you can't eat because of your choices. You know what I mean? You can definitely try and word that more tactfully, but that's what I think that the OP should do if they are actually interested in maintaining the relationship. Because, yeah, you know, I think it is something that needs to be addressed. I'm not a huge fan of just letting things slide, and that, like you said, you said, and that things will calm down and, everyone will just get over it. I do think that it's important to address these things, and to maybe even also just address how the relationship was before. If the parents, allowed this person to sort of operate like a brat before they fell pregnant, then they're obviously just going to get worse once they get hormonal and everything. So if this is indicative of how they were before they fell pregnant, then I do think that this also should be a conversation with the parents and say, listen, you low-key created this monster, because you do know low-key Home Slice was a brat even before they fell pregnant. So I don't have that much sympathy for you in this situation, because you made this bed and you're going to have to sleep in it now. But I'm not participating in this. You know what I mean? And if you're not going to defend me, and if you're not going to see the logic and reason in this and support logic and reason, and instead you're going to allow this delusion to fester, then, I'll see you guys when the baby is born and when sanity, comes back to this household, because I'm not going to be policed and I refuse to participate in all of this. But yeah, all in all, speak up for yourself. There's nothing wrong with you for speaking up for yourself. I do think that you chose the wrong moment, though. But we can't always be in control of our emotions in the moment. Sometimes it's only retrospectively where you're just like, yeah, Home Slice would have never heard a single word that I had to say. But you know now, and that's all that matters. So yeah, that's today's episode. I hope I made sense. If you have an additional, angle that you would like to put into it, type it in. Send a voice note. Oh my gosh, I love voice notes so much. Send voice notes. Let's chat. That would be amazing, actually. Send the voice notes, and my favorite voice note will be featured in the beginning of the next Agony Aunt episode. Ooh, is that what I'm calling the show? Agony Aunt? Ooh, maybe. But yes, I think that would be lovely. That would be absolutely lovely. And obviously, I'll be keeping track of the different posts. So if there are updates, then they will also feature in the beginning of the next episode. All right, lovies, take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. And I love you all very, very much. Until next time, bye.